As a kid, if you had Jello cups at your party, you had a fancy one. We're talking different flavors, colors, the whole deal. The one we're making today is from scratch. Fresh fruit, fresh flavor, simple recipe. It looks astonishing. You're gonna wow a few people. This Jello fruitcake dessert is gonna have little bits of different flavored gelatin within the cake. So that's what we need to get started on. In a small saucepan, I'm going to add 2 cups of frozen strawberries. The sweetener, I'm going to be using an alternative since I cannot have regular sugar. The one I'm using is from monk fruit. I'm gonna leave you the link down in the description area in case you wanna take a look at it. Do 1/2 cup. The amount of sugar needed is really going to depend on the tartness or the sweetness of the fruit. Strawberries right now are not that sweet, so I do have to add a little bit more. And a 1/4 cup of water. Bring this up to a boil and stir everything in to combine. This smells so good. I'm gonna lower that to medium-low so we reach a gentle simmer. Let it go for about 5 to 10 minutes or until the strawberries are completely cooked through. While that's happening, break them apart and mash them. Since we've got a few minutes, let's bloom the gelatin. To a medium-sized bowl, I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of water. Room temperature is fine. Sprinkle in 2 tablespoons of unflavored gelatin powder. And this has a strength of 250. With a spoon, mix it in. This step ensures that the gelatin hydrates, and just set it to the side, let it do its thing for 5 minutes. Already, strawberries don't take that long. Add 1/2 cup of water and bring it up to a simmer. Take it straight into a strainer, and you do need to use a measuring cup for this. Make sure we move those strawberries around, smash them in. Keep getting some of that flavor out of them. We've got to get our money's worth. When it comes to the leftover strawberry, we literally took out all of that flavor, so I just toss it out. If you don't want to do that, you can mix it in with your smoothie, a yogurt parfait. I'll leave that up to you. We need a total of 1.5 cups of liquid. I need a couple more tablespoons, so I'm just gonna add hot water to it. Now bring the gelatin, which is good to go as well, and mix in that strawberry syrup. Whisk everything to combine. Make sure that gelatin is completely dissolved. I'm using a 6-cup rectangle dish. Lightly spray it with oil. Remove the excess with a kitchen towel. It will help us make sure that Jello doesn't stick to the actual dish. Pour in that gelatin. If you've got a little bit of foam on top, do not worry, just spoon it out. It is very easy. Our next Jello flavor is going to be mango. Add 2 cups of it, and this one's frozen as well, into your medium saucepan, along with 1/2 cup of sweetener, a 1/4 cup of water, and it's gonna get cooked the same way the strawberries did. The only difference is it might take a little bit longer for that mango to fully cook. It took the mango about 10 minutes to soften. Now I'm gonna add 1.25 cups of water. Now bring it up to a simmer. As you may have noticed, I added more water to the mangoes than the strawberries because the mangoes tend to release less juice, so I really need that extra liquid to make up for the 1.5 cups that we need. This is looking good. Now let's strain it. Press it down so you get as much flavor as you can. And we've got 1.5 cups, perfect. Here is my gelatin, which I've already bloomed. It's been 5 minutes. It looks hydrated, a little like applesauce. Add in that mango mixture. Whisk it and make sure everything is completely combined, that gelatin gets dissolved in there. Which reminds me, this is a good point for you to taste it. Perfect, sweetness is on point. If you feel like it needs a little more sugar, feel free to adjust it. My dish is already sprayed. You know the drill, just add the gelatin in there. We don't have a lot of foam in here, but I'll try to skim it out. Once both of these cool down to room temperature, place them in the refrigerator to set up completely. It's gonna take about 2 hours or so. I've got a few ready to go. Run a spatula around the sides to detach it. With a knife, I'm gonna cut it into bite-sized pieces. So I first cut them into strips and then they get cut into squares. Now using a spatula or a flat turner, just get in there right underneath so that you can scoop it out, making sure that you do not damage it. There's a few broken pieces, that is fine, but just try to get them whole. Remove each square and place them on a sheet pan. Beautifully set, they just come out. I'm gonna need these shortly, but I'm still gonna keep them in the fridge. For the clear Jello, I want to be able to infuse as much flavor as possible, but still keep it clear because we want to be able to see everything that's going on inside. So we're going to combine half a cup of freshly squeezed orange juice. Yes, I squeezed it myself. The juice from 1 whole lemon, which is about 2 tablespoons. Make sure you fish out any of those seeds. We don't want any of them in there. And this is my technique. I just place my hand right under that lemon and catch them. Also add in the sweetener. I'm doing 1 cup. Be sure to use a measuring cup and fill it with hot water until it reaches the 3-cup mark. Whisk to make sure everything is completely combined and that sugar gets dissolved. For the gelatin, this time we're gonna need 1 cup of water, 4 tablespoons of unflavored powdered gelatin. Add it into the bloomed gelatin. Make sure everything is completely combined. The gelatin has dissolved. You know the drill. The fruit is going to consist of 1 mango diced, 1 dragon fruit diced, 8 ounces of whole raspberries, 1 pound of sliced strawberries, 1 pound of whole blueberries. Everything's clean, dry, prepped, ready to go. The Bunt pan holds 12 cups. Spray it with a little bit of nonstick spray. Remove the excess and start arranging the fruit. Feel free to layer it, do your own inspirational arrangement, and let's not forget that Jello. Just place random cubes wherever you feel like it. I like to make sure they're at the bottom, that way we can see them. They're gonna be a great complement to the arrangement that we're making. I transferred the clear Jello into a measuring cup because I want it to be easy to pour, but also very important, this has to be completely cooled down because if it's not, it's gonna cook the fruit and it's gonna melt those bits of gelatin. Pour enough to cover the first layer of fruit. There's a couple of fruits that don't work out with this recipe, and they're going to be kiwi and pineapple. Apparently they release some sort of enzyme that prevents the gelatin from setting, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Finally, pour in the remainder of that clear Jello. It should fill it all the way up to the top. And as you notice, that fruit was also brought all the way to the top so that it fills the entire mold. This is going to look so good. All that's left to do is place it in the refrigerator. It can take from 4 hours to 8 hours to completely set up. What I like to do is just leave it overnight, forget about it, wake up to a beautiful Jello fruit cake. Look at this beauty. I made this last night. Try to detach the sides a little bit, being very careful with a spatula. I've got a container with warm water. I'm just gonna submerge it in here for a few seconds, not very long. You don't wanna melt it. It just has to loosen up. Great, yep, I can feel it. It loosened up a little bit. Take your platter, your plate, wherever you're gonna display it. We're gonna securely flip with confidence. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go the extra mile and do some whipped cream on top, decorate it. And here's the thing, cut those blueberries in half and it'll give you a whole different perspective, depth of feel. It makes for the perfect garnish. Now it's time for us to cut into this bad boy because I almost feel bad cutting into it, but it's gotta be done.
So sad.
All right. Dessert time, and this one is really, really good, you guys. Okay. Pause. Nelson, mix it in with that whipped cream.
You know I'm a fan of whipped cream.
It cuts through the sweetness of the fruit. It is just so good.
Man, this is
I'm
so good.
I'm about to do some of that whipped cream. Wow.
That whipped cream does make a difference.
Yeah, he just did it. I cannot believe you, Nelson. I'll add some more in a minute. Seriously. There's bits of different flavors within this fruit cake because you've got the strawberry jello, you got the mango jello, then you got those orange lemony tones on the surface that also kind of seep through the entire fruit cake. It is just so good, so refreshing. This is the type of cake I am going to be taking to my celebrations. The full detailed recipe is going to be available at villacocina.com. I'm going to try to leave as much information as I can on there, so feel free to read all of the article. If you don't want to read it, just skip down to the actual recipe. I gotta say, until the next one, and just don't forget to subscribe.
Till the next one, everybody.
Bye, everyone.